Assalamu Alaikum everyone, I'm Ahmed Bukar and welcome back. So in this video we are gonna write our very first Python code and run it, and you'll just see it in a second. So for the editor I'm using Pycharm and I have my Pycharm installed. I'm gonna create a new project and let's name this project first my first Python code. uh, you have to leave out the rest of them, they are not important, so create. Creating my virtual environment, and this is taking too long. So now my project is set up and it's just loading to open the project structure for now. And you see here PyCharm automatically creates a file for us called main.py. Now .py is used for Python files which are just used to run Python code. Python files which are used to run Python code. So here we have a little bunch of code, but we don't really want that. I'm gonna delete that all. So first of all, what we are gonna do is create a simple hello world project. Now, whenever we start any project or any computer programming or in any field of life, we all the first thing to learn, we always make a hello world project. So, so I'm going to introduce you the print method. Print, and this is a method used for printing out some text or numbers or anything we want to print in the console, in the terminal. So then we use curly braces, and inside curly braces you can use double quotes or single quotes for writing sentences, words or characters. I'm gonna use double quotes, they are easy to see, and I'm gonna type in hello world. So this is it. This is all we have to do for our Python code. So to run this by a bunch of text, or you can say just to run the print method, either you right click on main.py over here and run main, or you can edit a configuration over here which is main for now, and click on this run green colored button. So now our Python code was executed, and surprisingly we had our hello world printed in our terminal. We had our hello world printed in our terminal. So this is the very basics, the most basics of which everyone should learn of Python. So next we have variables. Now I'm gonna remove this for now. Now variables are places where you can store an object or you can store some data. Let me just show you for now. I'm gonna name a variable hello. It's now this is a variable named hello, and by just using the equal sign I'm gonna give it the data I want to store in this variable name hello. So I'm just gonna type in hel hello world, hello world for now, and look how easily we assign this hello world text to just a variable, and this is an object. Now I'll show you that in just a second, but to understand how these variables work, I'm gonna show you a now let's say this is our RAM, this one is our RAM, okay, and in Pycharm we have created a variable called hello with the text hello world. So when this code is run by Python, this hello variable is automatically stored inside the RAM. This means it's automatically stored inside the RAM, and whenever we want to access this hello world, we would just type the hello variable, and the RAM would automatically get that hello world and return us the data that is inside that variable. So I think that is clear. So here we have hello world. So how do we print this text? How do we print this text? Now let me just show you. We have to print. Now for using variables we don't use double quotes or single quotes, but instead we use just the name of our variable. So in this case we're gonna use hello, run, and see we get the hello world executed in our terminal. So next we're gonna see what else we can do with variables. So this was a string variable. Now a string variable is what contains a phrase, a sentence, uh, sen a sentence. This is a sentence, a word or a sentence, and even a character. So next we have integers, which are similar to numbers but they don't have decimal points. Let me just show you that. Num. So we can use 1 till 9 or any long longer, we can say a number, but you can't use the decimal point. You can't use the decimal point. So I'm just gonna number it something 1 to 3. Next we have floats. Now float is just like integers but it has decimal points. So let me just name a variable point and name it and give it the data of 1.29. Now 1.29 has a decimal point, and this is just like being converted to a floor in we can say the floor method. Next we have booleans. Now booleans are either on, off, true or false or 1 or 0, which is just you will get it in just a second. Now let me say is underscore on equals to true. Now what this does is that this variable called is underscore on automatically indicates that this variable is true. This variable has the value of yes, 1 or true. But in Python we use true for indicating variables store yes or no options. We can either store false or true, but one thing to notice here, we have to use capital letter at the first of true and false, just like you had seen me doing this. Now if we want to print all these variables, what should we do? It's just simple. Print and hello. Print and send, just for sentence. Print num, print point, and lastly we have print is underscore on. Now when we run this code, we get our 5 variables: hello world, a sentence, an integer 123, a float point 1.29, and a boolean false. We can change these values and it will print something else for us. Let me try to show you. Point 7. When we run this, we get the same and we get the changes in our values, changes that we had before. So next we have inputs. I'm gonna show you what are inputs. I'm gonna leave this all. Now inputs are basically methods that allow the user to type in something to the terminal, meaning to let me just show you what this does. Now I'm gonna do an input, use the input method, and type in what is your name. What is your name? When I run this code, it asks me what is your name, and surprisingly, amazingly, you can type in whatever you want in front of this sentence. I can type in anything I want. So this is how inputs work. For now I'm gonna just name myself Ahmed Wakar, and you see it does nothing. Whenever we click the enter button, it does nothing. So we can also store this input method in a variable, and a variable basically consists of methods. Even strings are methods, those sentences are methods, words are methods, those numbers are methods, and booleans are, all of those are methods that can be stored in a variable. So I'm gonna just name a variable ask, and I'm gonna move this to that ask. Now whenever we run our Python code, it will execute this input method even when we are not printing the ask variable. This is because Python would want you to write whatever we want in the input and store that inside of ask. So next we want to print this ask variable. whatever our name is. So let's run our Python code. So here they ask us what is your name, and for me I'm gonna type in Ahmed Bakar, enter, and you see I get my name printed on the terminal as Ahmed Bakar. You can do a bunch of other stuff such as Tim, and we get Tim. You can do many other things. So now for this video, the last thing we have is a comment. Now a comment is just a dummy text that isn't executed by Python. Let me just show you here. Now to use comments, we use a hashtag and then type in our comment. So this is a comment. So if we run this code, you see we get nothing in our terminal. This is because a comment is never executed by Python. So we can test this by just printing the comment is not executed. So we run this and we get the comment is not executed. This is because Python ignored this comment and came to this print method and executed this line. So, and there is another type of comment known as multi-line comment, which is used by just using 3 by 3 single quotes or double quotes, whatever you want. So here I have 3 by 3 single quotes and I can type in whatever I want. So this is a multi-line comment, and this is also not executed by Python. So you see here nothing has been executed over here. For this we can also store that in a variable, and surprisingly that becomes a string but contains some line spaces or line tabs or line breaks. So let me just say here multi-line, and I'm gonna move this all up over here. And for using multi-line strings, we just have to do something like this, what you see over here: print multi-line, and you see we have this is a multi-line command in our terminal. So this is all for our first tutorial of Python.
Interesting. So what is your name?
My name?
Yes, your name.
My name na Ovuvwe Enyetuenwe Osas.
Pardon? Come again.
Ovuvwe Enyetuenwe Osas.
I mean, what is your name? Your name, Afagi.
Now my name I call for you now.
Call it again.
Ovuvwe Enyetuenwe Osas.